The House Committee on Education will come to order. Will the clerk please take attendance?
Chair Colazar.
Here.
Representatives Churches.
Present.
Shannon.
Present.
Stone. Here. Weiss.
Here.
Glanville.
Yep.
Conlon.
Here.
Edwards.
Here.
Wagella.
Here.
Green. Here. Markkinen.
Here.
Paquette.
Here.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Representative Edwards moves to approve the minutes of the October 25th committee without objection, so ordered. Okay, first we will be taking up a substitute for Senate Bill 395, or first we'll be taking up Senate Bill 395, and I do have an H2 substitute. The H2 removes language pertaining to misconduct and also changes the binding arbitration provider from Merck to AAA. I need a motion to adopt the H2 sub. Representative Glanville makes that motion. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On adopting the substitute, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wagella.
Yes.
Green.
Pass.
Markkinen.
Pass.
Paquette.
Pass.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, 4 pass. The substitute for Senate Bill 395 is adopted.
Thank you. Now I will read in some cards. Not wishing to speak, supporting Senate Bill 395. Megan how do I say that? DeCracker from NHA. Not wishing to speak, supporting the bill, Jennifer Smith from Michigan Association of School Boards. Not wishing to speak, neutral on the bills, Mike Latvis, Wayne Risa. Not wishing to speak, neutral on the bills, Matt Schuler, Michigan Association of School Administrators. Not wishing to speak, neutral on the bills, Stephanie Simus, thank you, from Education Advocates of West Michigan. Or, I'm sorry, not wishing to speak neutral on the bills. Not wishing to speak, supporting Senate Bills 395 and 396, Cheryl Kennedy from Michigan Department of Education. And that is it for cards. Okay. I need a motion to adopt Senate Bill 395. I need a motion to report Senate Bill 395 with recommendation. Representative Wagella makes that motion. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On the motion to report, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wagella.
Yes.
Green.
No.
Markkinen.
No.
Paquette.
No.
Wenzel. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 4 nays, 0 pass. Senate Bill 395 is reported as substituted.
Thank you. I now need a motion to report Senate Bill 396 with recommendation. Representative Churches makes that motion. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On the motion to report, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wagella.
Yes.
Green.
No.
Markkinen.
No.
Paquette.
No.
Wenzel. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 4 nays, 0 pass. Senate Bill 396 is reported recommendation.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we will be taking testimony on a package of bills regarding charter school transparency. We first do have a substitute. Actually, we have a few substitutes. So Representative Weiss, would you like to talk about this H1 sub for your bill? Also, are you the only sponsor of these bills here, I believe? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here to testify on my bill, House Bill 5231, and then I can also speak to 5232 through 34 since those sponsors are not here. These bills are really straightforward. All it is to help increase some transparency for the public, community members and families for charter schools, to make sure that their signage and any promotional material includes information on who their authorizer is and also who their management company is if they have a management company. So specifically within this bill, it would require that any signage that is erected, replaced, or repaired after the bill goes into effect include the authorizer and the management company if they have a management company. If they already have a sign and they're not required to replace it. It's just if they edit the sign or remove the sign or replace the sign, they have to include that when the new sign goes up. Also, any promotional material created after the effective date needs to include that information. It needs to be included on the footer of their website and then on the school application as well. And so my bill is specific to public school academies, and then the other language is identical. It's just for the other bills, they just apply to schools of excellence, strict discipline academies, and urban high schools. I'm happy to answer any questions.
And your substitute that we will make a motion to once you're back up here. Can you talk about what specifically the substitute did?
The substitute just added a little bit more specifics on what that promotional material would include, including like the website specifically, and also that it would be included on the application for the school as well.
Thank you. Any questions? Representative Johnson.
Thank you. Can you just clarify, a school of excellence, a disciplinary, I know what that is. What is the school of excellence? Is it still a charter school?
Yeah, these are just the different classifications of charters. So each bill just applies to the 4 different classifications of charters.
Thank you.
Yep,
Other questions? Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, I'm going to read in cards for these bills. We have a couple. Not wishing to speak, neutral on the bill, Jason Mancini from Michigan Council of Charter School Authorizers. Not wishing to speak, neutral on the bill, Dan Quisenberry from Michigan Association of Public School Academies. Not wishing to speak, opposing the bill, Beth Deschone, Great Lakes Education Project Education Fund. And not wishing to speak, supporting the bill, Cheryl Kennedy from Michigan Department of Education. I do need a motion to adopt the H1 substitute. Representative Shannon makes that for House Bill 5231. Representative Shannon makes that motion. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On the motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards. Wogella.
Yes.
Green.
Pass.
Markkinen.
Pass.
Paquette.
Pass.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, 4 passed. The H1 substitute for House Bill 5231 is adopted.
Okay, we now have a substitute, an H1 substitute for House Bill 5232. Representative Stone makes a motion to adopt that substitute. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wogella.
Yes.
Green.
Pass.
Markkinen.
Pass.
Paquette.
Pass.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, 4 passed. The H1 substitute for House Bill 5232 is adopted.
Okay, we now have the substitute, or the H1 substitute for House Bill 5233. Representative Conlon makes a motion to adopt that substitute. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wogella.
Yes.
Green.
Pass.
Markkinen.
Pass.
Paquette.
Pass.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, 4 passed. The H1 substitute for House Bill 5233 is adopted.
Okay, and finally for substitutes, we have an H1 substitute for House Bill 5234. Need a motion to adopt that substitute. Representative Wogella makes that motion. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Colazar.
Yes.
Representatives Churches.
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Glanville.
Yes.
Conlon.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Wogella.
Yes.
Green.
Pass.
Markkinen.
Pass.
Paquette.
Pass.
Wenzel. Johnson.
Pass.
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, 4 passed. The H1 substitute for House Bill 5234 is adopted.
Thank you. And next, we will be taking up my bill, House Bill 5269, and we will go at ease.
The House Education Committee will come to order. Chair Colazar.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So my bill is also very straightforward. It simply would require charter schools to disclose with some financial or some payroll transparency for teachers and support staff. So essentially, what is the average pay for a new teacher in their first 5 years? What is the average pay of a veteran teacher? Same with what is the average pay of support staff at their schools as well. And the reason for this is we know that we have shortages all over the place in terms of our school systems. And a little bit of transparency is something to keep in mind in terms of if I'm a new teacher, for example, looking for where I want to settle and where I would like to begin my career. We know that at a traditional public school, they can look at collective bargaining agreements and see what they're going to make year by year. This just helps them be better informed as to what they might make if they choose to teach at a charter school. And that's all it does. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Representative Paquette.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So appreciate your testimony on this and looking at this issue. Do traditional public schools do this as well already on their websites in terms of their pay and the disparity between new and older veteran teachers, I guess?
Yes, they do. So they have, through their bargaining agreements, they have salary scales that you can go right on, look at their entire bargaining agreement, wages, benefits, working conditions, all of it.
Okay. How about with admin and superintendents and things along those lines?
So
And it doesn't seem like this applies to that.
It doesn't, because at charter schools, if they make over $100,000 a year, that has to be reported anyway. So because
You mean
that,
publicly
there was
posted on
already
the website?
there was already transparency there for charter schools. So since they're already showing transparency, I didn't feel the need to include them on this. But in terms of public schools, their administrator agreements also are posted online.
But so in those admin agreements, and that's part of what I was getting to with the traditional, like there are a lot of perks as well that are associated with the superintendent position, aren't there? Like you get to have a car and all these other things and all these other perks that some people, I guess, in their bargaining agreements or when they hire a superintendent, they get. Is that included in some
I
of
think
that
that,
as well?
first of all, it's not every school district that a superintendent has those perks. I think that goes school district by school district and what their agreements look like. But those are supposed to be publicly on file.
Okay, thank you.
Representative Green.
Thank you. So I know you say it's in the bargaining agreement because I looked online and I guess I'm not finding where that bargaining agreement is online, but are already traditional public schools required to put this, or is it just there because of the bargaining agreement?
I have never seen a traditional public school not post that. And I'd be happy to show you if you want to look at your local school district, and I can show you exactly where it's at. You usually can find it in 2 clicks.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to have you show me because
Yeah,
I haven't found
happy
it
to do
yet.
Thank you. Representative Bugala.
Just kind of piggybacking on that, I mean, my understanding is that a lot of salaries are posted through the board meetings and the board docs anyway. So if they're not directly on the website, which I think in most cases they are, they still are open to the public. Is that a correct understanding?
That's correct.
Thank you. Representative Glanville.
Yeah, I really appreciate this legislation. You know, I know that in workforce development and workforce circles in general, there's really a move to posting salary first, like in job postings and that sort of thing. When I was looking to hire, even in my previous job, we were, looking at how folks look for jobs. And so when we talk about this teacher shortage piece, it really is effective to have salaries out front because so many people are looking for a job based on salary first, salary and benefits. Like, I know I want to be a teacher. I know the job that I can do. I'm going to, go to the place probably that I'm going to get the best salary and benefits. And so to have that up front instead of having to waste people's time of, oh, this was only $30,000 or $35,000, and if you don't find that out until far later in the process, that's a detriment to the schools and the teacher, right? Because that's how people pull out of jobs at the last minute. So I think it's a great way to help boost our teaching profession, boost the jobs that people are getting, just ease that piece of the whole employment process. So thank you for doing that. It aligns really well, like I said, with what private sector is doing.
Thank you. It actually, I think back to when I first started teaching back in 2006. It was, I remember, I wanted to stay in the state of Michigan. This is my home. This is where I want to be. And oftentimes I had to equate, well, how could I afford to live where I was applying to, which I don't have to tell everybody on this committee, we know housing prices have gone dramatically up. And so knowing what you are going to make as income to me is important, because you have to know if you can afford to live where it is that you are applying. And if you don't find that out till the very end, you could be in for a rude awakening.
Representative Wagello.
I was just thinking about this, and I think one of the great things about our public schools is they have collective bargaining agreements where people at the same level of experience are making the same wages in a lot of cases. I think this transparency will shed some light on our charter schools and how they've been operating. But do you see this as a way to ensure that we have equity for levels of experience in the charter school space? Does this transparency maybe allow people who are getting hired into those positions to have their own ability to bargain for themselves, I suppose?
I wouldn't know if that was the intent of the bill. I think the intent of the bill was simply just to make sure that people that are, whether a prospective educator or they are a prospective support staff member, just to make sure that they're well informed about where they are going, how much they could potentially make as income. And really, the motivation behind the bill is just to inform those who we want people to come into our public, private schools. I would say any school, we want people to come into the school system and teach and be support staff. The better informed they are, the better.
Okay. Looks like there's no more questions. House Education Committee, we'll go at East.
Okay, the House Education Committee will come back to order. We do have a card to read in for House Bill 5269. Not wishing to speak, opposing the bill, Beth Deshone, Great Lakes Education Project Education Fund. And with that, Vice Chair Green moves to excuse absent members. Without objection, absent members are excused. And there being no further business before the committee will stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.